Hi guys, we are back on schedule this week. So here is our Laura Whitaker's sketch for today. I'm showing it to you here too where I printed it. So I did my sketch layout a bit different than I usually do. I usually pick the sketch first, but since I'm still fighting with the creativity monster, for today's layout, I decided to pick my photo and the project I wanted to create and then to find a sketch to match what I wanted to do. So I had promised that I would revisit this paper person kit from June and create a layout about the medications that I take. And so I had that photo still sitting on my to be scrapped pile, and I decided that I would go ahead and work on that project for my Laura Whitaker's Sketches ReImagined project. And I think that this is what I'm going to do for my next couple process videos. I'm going to go ahead and kind of grab some of the photos that are hanging out on my desk that I really want to create projects for. And I'm going to start with those photos instead of starting with product or a sketch or, something like that. Even my design team projects, I'm going to just start with the photo for the next couple projects, see how that goes, see if that helps me kind of get back into the groove of it. Because doing this layout this way, I really love how the layout turned out. I was super happy with it. And I was really excited to be able to get a photo that I have been wanting to scrapbook off the list. So I am using probably the last of this paper person kit. So I still have a sheet of puffy stickers that I can put into my stash, but the paper is gone. So this was the June paper person kit. So this is my third layout using the kit. Generally speaking, these kits are not big. They're small. So, and I love that because it means I'm actually using these kits and using this product up. But you can only get 3, maybe 4 layouts out of a kit before you're out of large sheets of paper. So I'm going ahead and I'm getting all these pretty layers together. The sketch has some stitching on it, and I don't stitch, but I stamp. And I have these gorgeous stitching stamps. They're from 49th and Market. They're very old. I'm sure they're probably not available anywhere anymore, but they are pretty fabulous if you can find them. They're called Gabby's Stitches, and I love them. They are what I use anytime you see a layout of mine that has some awesome stitching on it. It's not stitching. It's either this stamp or it's rub-ons, because I don't sew. I break sewing machines. So I'm going to go ahead and use my icing on the cake ink from Catherine Poehler, and I'm going to add those little stitching details across the bottom of the layout. Again, love Laura's sketches because I feel like they're teaching me how to layer. I love that about them. So I'm following the layers that go in through this sketch pretty exactly. I did eliminate 1 or 2 of the layers different than the sketch, and the only reason I did that is because, again, this is third layout I'm doing with this kit, so there isn't much in the way of 12 by 12 paper left. I'm going to map my photo using one of the 12 by 12 papers from the mini kit that I got the same month that this one came out, and so they coordinate. They're the same colors and they go together well. And I'm going to use that to map my photo. It's just like this stripe. The other side of these papers has cut apart cards on them. So one side is cut apart cards, and the other side is a pattern. So I'm just going to use that pattern. I'm going through the 3x4 cards, and I'm going to grab, because paper person kits are double-sided, there are a couple of these 3x4 cards that have pattern on the other side. So I chose ones that I was pretty sure I wasn't going to use the 3x4 side for anything, and I could just use the back pattern. I'm going to choose 2, and I'm going to cut them with a fishtail banner. And I also want to use this card. This is a 3x4 card that was part of the kit. I'm going to cut it down and use it almost like a die cut or an embellishment. I really want to use it as part of this particular layout. Once I'm happy with how all of these look, I'm going to go ahead and start to kind of grab my taper and glue some stuff down. I'm also inking everything with Distress Oxide ink in Vintage Photo. So this layout is about the medications that I take. I am one of those lovely chronically ill people. So I take about 5 medications every day, and I have 4 of them in this photo. The 5th one comes in like a blister pack, so it wasn't really going to photograph well. So I just took the tops of 4 of the medication bottles. And what I'm going to do for this layout, so I'm going to add a little bit of journaling onto one of the labels, kind of just notating that these are the medications that I am taking in the year 2021. But I'm going to, on the back of this layout, I actually added another little journaling spot because this was a double-sided sheet of paper, my background is. And what I did was actually listed the medications that I am taking, but I didn't want to do that on the front of the layout, mostly because just for privacy's sake, and I knew I was going to film this. I had mentioned I wanted to do a layout like this in one of my Paper Person Pick 5 layouts in June, and a lot of people were interested in how I was going to go about doing that, so I thought I would do this layout and show you. So my journaling is going to be kind of just more of an annotation on the front of the layout saying, you know, these are the medications that I'm taking. And then on the back, I'm actually going to have a list of the medications. I didn't have a lot of I didn't need to put a lot of journaling about how I felt about all the medications that I take because I had all these amazing puffy stickers and embellishments from this kit that helped me to accurately express how I feel about it without necessarily needing to write it all in my own words. So this is the stamp set that came in the kit. I'm going to go ahead and stamp 3 of these words using some Paper Person ink in Coast and Ginger Snap. So I'm stamping the larger kind of like feeling words in the Coast, and then there's an empty space in each of these stamp sets to add like almost like a subtitle or to finish the thought. And I'm going to do that in the Ginger Snap. So I'm taking that small feeling word and putting it into the empty spaces on my feeling words. I hope that makes sense. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling on this label. I'm going to set the label aside then so it can dry completely. The labels from the Paper Person, if you write with them in a ballpoint pen, they dry pretty quickly, but still takes a couple minutes to really get the ink to not even soak in, but dry. And then don't use a gel pen, they stay wet forever. And then I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut out all of these little words that I stamped. I don't have a coordinating die set or anything to go with this stamp set. I'm just going to go ahead and start creating some clusters. Again, following the sketch pretty closely. I'm going to pop up some different elements using my tabby dots from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I'm going to start with the journaling and some of the stamped elements that I fussy cut, and then I'm going to use some more of the label stickers that came in the kit as a base to kind of embellish on top of. Once I have the stamped elements and my labels in place, I grabbed the puffy stickers that were part of this kit, and then I actually purchased a second set because I thought they were so cool. And I'm going to use them to add some different elements to my page. And also, there were a lot of them in here that really adequately, this is where I kind of decided that I could really adequately use these products to describe how I feel about you know, being sick and being on medications and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to use a lot of the puffy stickers that say things that I thought worked really well. This kit was so good for topics like this. I really, really was super happy with it. And like I said, I did purchase kind of like an extra set of the puffy stickers that I can put in my stash now and have for when I want to maybe document some different other kind of health stuff. And here are all of the close-ups of my finished layout. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And for those of you that had requested that I do this, I hope this video will help you to see how you can document kind of some of the tougher stuff. Talk to you all soon. Bye.